What's going on, guys? Back at you again. And as you can see, we got our new setup going and should sound a lot better than normal. It's a smaller, more compact room, nicer room. So it should be much better for everything. The lighting is better too. So it should be good going forward. So obviously it came at the end of the year. So, I mean, we still got playoffs, the NBA, and then we do our dating stuff in the off season, and then we got the next year and everything going on after that. So it's still got a lot of content. As long as I'm alive, there will be content coming out. Doesn't matter what it is, it's gonna be something. But other than that, boys, let's get right to these picks. First pick, we got Pittsburgh versus Baltimore. Baltimore is going to be sitting a lot of people. Pittsburgh, they're going to be trying their hottest. If we look at the playoff pick, the Steelers, they're on the cusp. The problem is, I'd have to look back. I don't know if they beat the Texans, Colts, and the Jaguars. So it depends with that. If they didn't, let's say the Steelers lost to one of those three teams, right? Because if we look at the standings, if the Steelers lost to one of these three teams, it's not going to matter. If one of these three teams win, or if two of the three win, the Steelers are out, and those two are in. But let's say only one of these three win, then the Steelers are in. That's the only way the Steelers get in, is if one of these three lose. If all three win, the Steelers are out. Then it comes down to points and who beat who and all that. And then two of these three will get in. So those are the last four teams decided, really. Everyone else is decided. Ravens, Browns, right? Chiefs, Dolphins, Bills. Well, the Bills aren't completely decided, but they're more decided than anything else. So, and I think they want the Bills in there. Josh Allen, he's on the cover of Madden, for crying out loud. So I think Josh Allen will get in. And I still think the Bills are my Super Bowl favorite because I think it's too easy to pick the Ravens. I think Lamar eventually will win one. He's only 26, you know what I mean? Like, he's got at least another 10 years of doing this that I can see. Maybe a little less, a little more. Who knows? Just guessing. But, I mean, he could win this year, too. But then when's Josh Allen going to get his? You know what I mean? Because we got some good quarterbacks in this league that have been putting their time in. And they've put their, I guess, the work they need for the NFL, for the script. So it's like, when are they getting their turn? Because Josh Allen has taken some L's, man. So it's like, I think he paid his dues. I think he's due for one. But at the same time, Lamar has paid his dues, too. They've been making him take first-round exits and not make the playoffs. So, well, no, they've made the playoffs, but they haven't won in the playoffs. So I don't know. I really don't know. But it would be nice to just see Lamar and Josh Allen win and just get it out of the way. And let's just whatever after that. Because let's face it, Lamar, right, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen, those are the best quarterbacks in the league. I don't care what anyone says. If you look at arm talent, running around, everything combined, awareness, strength of like the passes, the velocity, those are the best three right there. Like, they really are. If you ask any coach in the league, they're going to pick one of those three. And if you wouldn't be wrong to pick any of the three. I'm not putting Joe Burrow in that same. Joe Burrow is a tier below because he doesn't have the athleticism they have. He's very accurate. He's very cerebral, but he's a little different with the way he plays. He's a cerebral assassin, as Joe Burrow. It's a little different. Hurts, a tier below. He's not like those guys. He's just not, man. He's not built like them stature-wise, and he doesn't play as well as them. Think of any of these guys. Purdy's probably 2 levels below. If you put, let's face it, those 3 guys at the top, we put them on the Niners. Do the Niners lose a game? We put Purdy on those guys' teams. The Chiefs. If we put Brock Purdy on the Chiefs, are the Chiefs even gonna be like win their division? Are we even sure of that? That's what we gotta ask ourselves. Like, is Purdy that amazing, or is he good at managing a team that is amazing? That's what you gotta ask yourself. Anyway, so I picked Baltimore to win, even with the backup, because I don't think they want Pittsburgh in there with Mason Rudolph, who's a backup, a third string guy. So what the hell is a third string guy doing in the playoffs? He's not going to win the Super Bowl. And who's going to go watch Mason Rudolph play? I'm not. I'm not going to race to go to the TV to watch that. But people will watch Trevor Lawrence, right? People will watch C.J. Stroud, right? No one's going to watch Gardner Minshew. So that's how I'm thinking. I think the NFL is going with quarterbacks that can draw people in. So Baltimore to win with the backups and the backup QB. All right, next we got Houston versus Indy. Same thing here. I think you guys know how I feel about Shane Steichen. Genius, but it's not going to matter because he doesn't have the quarterback that can make a draw. Like, half the country doesn't know what a Minshew is. You know what I mean? They're going to think we're talking about peanuts. So, we all know who C.J. Stroud is. So, I picked Houston to win this game solely because of that. I think they want Houston in the playoffs more. Because a quarterback is more star power than a coach. You know what I mean? So, that's just me. I could be wrong, but that's just what I'm picking. So that's Saturday. Sunday, we got Cleveland, Cincy. Cleveland will probably be better served sitting their players. Cincy's going to go gung-ho. I still like Cleveland, though. Just because even though they're going to be sitting guys, their defense is just so sound. You know? So, Cincy's all offense. Cleveland, they're a little offense, but a lot of defense, you know. So that works in January. It does. But at the same time, Cleveland looks like a different team when Joe Flacco's not in. So it's just a lot of questions with this game. Week 18's tough because you don't know what the team's going to look like sitting players or what's going to happen. You really don't. Week 18's probably one of the toughest weeks to pick. Other than week 1, because we don't know what everyone's going to look like coming out. Yeah, I'm going to pick Cleveland. Cincy probably will give them hell. Because they still got Jamar Chase, right? They still got T. Higgins. They still got Mixon. So they still got some players. They'll give them hell. But I don't think enough hell to win the game. So I got Cleveland. But then again, Cleveland... Are their backups going to be able to hold that off, though? That's what I want to ask myself. I'm going to go Cincy here. I'm actually going to switch my pick to Cincy. Because I don't know if Cleveland's backups will be able to hold up against Cincy's first teamers. I just don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm going to go Cincy. All right, next. Come on. All right, next, Detroit versus Minnesota. They're at Detroit. Detroit's going to be sitting guys. Minnesota will not be. I'm going to pick Detroit. I think they're going to give them another win because they're not going to let them go far in the playoffs. So let them have a nice regular season record for people to like hang their hat on. Like, oh, we were 12 and whatever, 12 and 5. We're going to be so good now, you know. And then the first round exit. But it keeps the fans drawn in and coming back. So that's why I think it's going to happen that way. So, yeah, we'll do that. Detroit wins. Minnesota loses. Then we got Jacksonville versus Tennessee. I'm going to pick Jacksonville solely because of what I said earlier with the playoff thing. People are going to actually pay to watch Trevor Lawrence play, and the people actually go to their TVs to watch him play. So, I don't know. Not saying that Will Levis isn't a good player. Will Levis can play, but it's not his year. and he came in way too late. They should have just threw him in, and whatever happens, happens. But they wanted to keep doing the Tannehill thing, which fucked him in the end. Stupid. If you're gonna draft a QB in the first round, even second round, you gotta play him. You gotta play him, especially if you're not sure about your first guy. If you know for a fact you're not keeping the guy that is playing, you have to start him. That's just me. Unless you're in Green Bay. Alright, so, yeah, so we're going to pick Jacksonville. So, New York versus New England. I hate games like this. Shit games. This is a turd. Like, I literally hate picking games like this. Like, because it can go either way. And it doesn't matter who wins this game. These are shit teams. Like, both of them. The Jets, they need two left tackles. They need 2 tackles, right? A tight end, and another really good receiver. And then they would be viable. Assuming Aaron Rodgers comes back and is able to not get hurt, which is another risk in itself. Like, I would laugh my ass off if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt again next year and misses the year. That would be so Jet-like. You sign him to all this money, he doesn't even get to play one full season or even a full snap. Like, I would laugh my ass off. And that's just would be fitting for the New York Jets in that franchise. But if you're going to ask me to pick this game, I don't know, man. New England, excuse me. New England, they're very close. Top 5 picks, so they could get a quarterback. So I guess they probably would try to lose this game. But if Bill is leaving, wouldn't he try to win just in spite? Like, fuck you guys, I'm winning this game just so you guys don't get a good pick. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Bill wins the game in spite because they're going to get rid of him. Now they don't get their quarterback. I would laugh. I'm going to pick the Patriots because of that. Bill wins in spite. But if they keep Bill, I don't know what they're going to do about quarterback. Maybe they get Russell Wilson over there? I don't know. But all I do know is they can't draft a young guy. Bill Belichick can't take another young quarterback in. He just can't do it. He's incapable of doing it. Get him an established guy. Even Justin Fields. Anything but a young rookie. It needs to be a pro that's been in the league for at least 4 to 5 years. Otherwise, Bill's going to screw him up. So, yeah. Alright, next we got Atlanta versus New Orleans. I'm going to go New Orleans here. Because of the quarterback thing. But not that I think Derek Hughes' Carr is any good or anything, but he's a bigger name. Him and Derek Carr and Baker Mayfield. I'd say Baker is probably a little bit better. Like, if you were to ask me, you want Derek Carr or Baker Mayfield? First, I would do a full body scan. I would make sure, one, they're not injured, because they'll lie and say they're 100% and they're not. And the guy that's less injured, I would take. Because I also think that Derek Carr is playing injured, because he does not look the same from last year. He looks completely like a different guy. Like, almost someone possessed his body. Like, he does not look like himself at all. I think there's something's wrong, like I always say with the NBA breakdowns. But something's wrong with him, for sure. But anyway, I'm picking New Orleans just because of the quarterback name frequency. That's it. People know Derek Carr. That's who they'll go watch on TV. People like what they're familiar with. You know, that's what we do as humans. Now we got Tampa versus Carolina. I'm going to pick Tampa to win. And they're going to basically have the same record, New Orleans and Tampa. And then it's going to come down to points. And they want us all on the edge of our seats finding out who's in at the last second. I'm telling you guys, both teams are probably going to win. Now we got Chicago versus Green Bay. Chicago, they've been a top 10 team on the second half of the year, guys. Like, they went from being one of the worst teams to one of the best. Like, I don't have the answer for them. One would say keep it as it is. Draft that receiver from Ohio State, Marvin Harrison, right? And keep building on this team. with Justin Fields and say screw the new rookies that you don't even know is going to work out. That's what some people would say, but then again, you just don't know. But we don't know with these quarterbacks. First round quarterbacks don't work out. Most times than not, they don't work out. So this kid most likely is not going to work out based on what history says. So with Justin Fields, you know you can win games with him. You got to keep him upright, and got to stop running him so much, and you'll be all right. But I don't know that they can do that. Green Bay, they're hot right now. But Chicago can throw a bucket of water right on them right now. Let's see. Right now, people are going to be really, really high on Green Bay, right? If Green Bay loses to the Bears, 8-8, they're going to be the same record as the Bears. So if the Bears win, the Bears might be able to get in, guys. Let's say the Bears win, guys, and the Packers lose, right? They'd be 8-9, and they'd be 8-9, right? And then let's say the Buccaneers and the Saints also lose, 8-9, 8-9. One of them gets in, but guess what? The Bears might be able to get in as well. And that also means the Seahawks have a chance if they lose and win as well. So a lot is going on with the NFC. Wow. So yeah, this is what they wanted, guys. They wanted it to be very interesting, very close, unpredictable. So I don't know, guys. I have no idea who could win this game. I'm going to pick Chicago in lieu of the NFL making everything so extravagant and so impressive and imaginative. So yeah, that's why. No other reason. Now we got Denver, Las Vegas. I don't know. I'll go Vegas, I guess, because those players want the coach to come back. Let's look at their records, though. Vegas 7-9. I mean, them winning, yeah, they're like middle of the pack. So I mean, draft picks not really gonna mean much a difference. Broncos, Raiders. This is just for bragging rights. That's all this is for. But I bet Sean Payton wants to win to make it seem like, oh, I was right for benching Russell Wilson. See, we won 2 games right away. I don't know. I think he's being really petty. But whatever. I'll pick Broncos. I'll pick the Broncos as a coaching mismatch, but that's about it. All right, next we got Philly versus New York. This is actually my upset of the week. I have nothing to justify this other than the Philadelphia Eagles looking like shit the last few weeks. But I'm picking the Giants to win with Tyrod Taylor, guys. Yeah, you heard it here first. And then everyone's going to have their radars going crazy. Like, what's wrong with the Philadelphia Eagles? There's something wrong with them. Oh, my God. Everyone's going to go crazy. I promise you. All right, next we got Seattle versus Arizona. I think Seattle is going to lose. I think all those teams are going to go 8-9. And they're going to make it so interesting. Or maybe, I don't know, they'll probably pick a couple of those teams to win out of those 8-8 teams. But I just don't know who. I'm going to say Seattle misses the playoffs. I'm going to pick Arizona to win this game. Then next we got Kansas City versus Los Angeles. Both teams basically are playing second stringers. Los Angeles due to injury. Kansas City due to the playoffs and clinching their division. So with that said, I'm picking Kansas City. I don't trust Los Angeles, even with second teamers playing with each other. I don't trust them at all. Unless Keenan Allen's playing. If Keenan Allen's playing, then that's probably the best player on the field because Kansas City has none of their starters playing. If Keenan Allen plays, then I'll pick Los Angeles. If Keenan Allen does not play, I pick the Chiefs. All right, now we got LA versus San Fran. I'm going to pick the Rams here because the Rams are trying to get to the playoffs. And San Fran's already in. I don't think they're going to risk injury. They want to be fresh as hell. I think they're going to take the 2 weeks off and not risk it. But who knows? Maybe I'm just off my rocker. But San Fran playing this game is just stupid unless they're saying we don't want the Rams to get in and we want to beat the Rams so we don't have to see them. Then I can understand. But any other reason, nah, man. You got to just move on and let them beat each other up. All right, now we got Dallas, Washington. I got Dallas winning that. And last, and certainly not least, Buffalo versus Miami. I'm going to have Buffalo winning because I think Buffalo is going to make the playoffs, even though I had them missing it earlier in the year. Just because they everything was just so weird, just the way they had them looking. I thought they'd have them miss the playoffs, but they turned it around. And now I think they're a Super Bowl favorite. A sneaky Super Bowl favorite. They got hot late. And I always compare teams that get hot late that played bad throughout the year to the 2011 New York Giants team. I always do that comparison because that's what that team did, man. Like, if you start off like shit or you're trading games off, win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. That's what they did. And then the last, 4 or 5 games they won, and then they won out. Like, that's basically what's going to be happening if they do that. And we'll see. And we know the NFL likes to use different scripts over and over again, or the same script over and over again. So, other than that, boys, we'll see how everything goes and everything breaks down. We got a long week of football before football's on Saturday and Sunday. So, I don't know, maybe we'll do a video in between. Or maybe I'll just coast and not burn myself out. Because this NFL stuff is very, very, it's hard, man, guys. It takes a lot out of you. It really does. So just bear with me, guys, and stay tuned for any content that may come out. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.